You know that feeling, right? When your wallet just feels a bit thin or your bank account seems to be on a permanent diet. Life today is packed with pressures, and sometimes you just crave a shift, a real kickstart to get those numbers dancing in a more positive direction. Or maybe you just want your living space to feel more alive, filled with fresh, positive energy. I used to feel exactly that way, until I discovered a small, yet surprisingly powerful green companion. A companion that started to change everything. The ordinary world when life felt stuck. Before my story took its fascinating turn, my life honestly felt a bit muted, especially when it came to money and my living space. I remember scrolling through social media, seeing all these perfectly curated homes, people living their best lives, and there I was staring at my own apartment. It wasn't bad, not at all, but it just felt stagnant. Like a beautiful painting missing its vibrant colors. The air sometimes felt heavy, not literally, but emotionally. It lacked that spark, that feeling of active, growing energy. And financially, oh boy. It felt like I was constantly just breaking even. Bills would pile up and I'd stress over every little expense. I worked hard, put in the hours, but the numbers in my bank account just never seemed to want to grow. It was this constant, low-level anxiety hum, always there in the background. I wanted more, I dreamed of more financial freedom, a truly inspiring home, but it all felt so out of reach. Like I was stuck in a loop, doing the same things, getting the same results. My space reflected that. It was functional, but not inspiring. There were no real statements, no elements that truly breathed life into the room. It was just there, and subconsciously, I think that contributed to my feeling of being stuck. There was no flow, no sense of expansion, just a quiet, everyday existence. It was in this rather ordinary, slightly frustrated state that something unexpected caught my eye, something that whispered of possibility. The call to adventure, the alluring emerald coins. Then something shifted. A subtle suggestion from the universe, wrapped in the most captivating shade of green. It started subtly, almost like a whisper. I was casually browsing online, looking for some new ideas to liven up my rather beige living room when I stumbled upon an image. It was of a plant, but not just any plant. This one had leaves that were so uniquely formed, plump, rounded, and a vibrant, almost luminous green. They truly resembled miniature emerald coins stacked upon sturdy branches. The name intrigued me, Jade Plant, and then I saw the alternative name, Money Tree. Now I'll admit my first reaction was a healthy dose of skepticism. A plant that brings money, it sounded a bit whimsical, but the image stuck with me. There was something undeniably appealing about its lushness and that intriguing coin shape. Over the next few days, I started noticing this plant everywhere, in articles about low-maintenance houseplants, in home decor blogs, even peeking out from the corner of a friend's video call. Each time I saw it, that initial curiosity grew. It felt like a gentle nudge, a persistent whisper suggesting that maybe, just maybe, there was more to this money tree than met the eye. It was a subtle call, an invitation to explore a different path, a greener way to potentially invite a little more prosperity into my life. Despite this growing curiosity, the more practical side of me couldn't help but raise a few logical eyebrows. Refusal of the call, the skeptic's inner voice. A plant to solve my money worries. My logical brain immediately hit the brakes, loud and clear. As intriguing as the jade plant seemed, the sensible, slightly cynical part of me immediately piped up. Come on, I thought, a plant. Are we really talking about some ancient, mystical Feng Shui ritual here? Is this just another one of those feel-good fads that promises magic but delivers, well, just a plant? I imagined myself suddenly surrounded by crystals and burning incense, trying to decipher complex charts just to place a simple pot. That wasn't my style at all. I valued practicality, tangible results. Then there was the very real concern of actually keeping a plant alive. My track record wasn't exactly stellar. I'd had a few houseplants before, full of good intentions, only for them to mysteriously wither away. The thought of adding plant care expert to my already packed schedule felt overwhelming. What if I bought this money tree, put all my hopeful energy into it, and it just died? That would feel even worse, wouldn't it? Like another failed attempt, another reminder that even simple solutions seemed out of my reach. So despite the alluring whispers of prosperity, a big part of me wanted to just dismiss it, to stick with what I knew, even if what I knew wasn't exactly getting me where I wanted to be financially or energetically. It felt too easy, too unscientific. But that nagging doubt, that deep-seated desire for change, wouldn't let me completely walk away. Instead, it pushed me to dig deeper, to find out if there was real substance behind the green myths. Meeting the mentor, the science behind the green glow. But that little voice of doubt, the one that kept asking why, actually led me down a fascinating rabbit hole where I discovered the real magic wasn't mystical, it was scientific. My skepticism, oddly enough, became my mentor. It pushed me to research beyond the money tree folklore. I wasn't looking for spells, I was looking for facts, and what I found was genuinely eye-opening. It turns out the Feng Shui of a plant like the Jade Plant isn't just about ancient beliefs. It's deeply rooted in how nature interacts with our well-being, our energy, and yes, even our financial outlook. First, the air. You know how stuffy a room can feel? Well, studies, even from NASA, have consistently shown that houseplants are incredible natural air purifiers. They absorb common toxins like benzene and formaldehyde, chemicals often found in our homes from furniture, paints, and cleaning products. When you breathe cleaner air, your body feels better, your mind is clearer, sharper. And a clear, sharp mind, that's your best asset for making smart decisions, for spotting opportunities, and for managing your money effectively. It's like giving your brain a fresh, oxygenated boost every single day. Then there's the psychological impact. We're wired to connect with nature. Research from environmental psychology shows that simply looking at greenery can significantly reduce stress levels. Think about it, when you're less stressed, you're calmer, more optimistic about your future, including your financial one. That calm, positive mindset acts like a magnet, attracting good vibes and opening you up to possibilities you might miss when you're overwhelmed. It's not magic, it's biology and psychology working in your favor. And finally, focus. Studies in workplaces have demonstrated that adding plants can boost concentration and productivity. Imagine your workspace or even your living room suddenly feeling more vibrant, more alive. That subtle shift in energy helps you stay on task, think more creatively, and ultimately be more effective in whatever you do, which, let's be honest, often translates directly into financial growth. So the Jade Plant isn't printing money, but it's creating an optimal environment for you to thrive, to think clearly, to work productively, and to attract prosperity. That's modern Feng Shui, practical, powerful, and perfectly green. Armed with this new understanding, my hesitation melted away. I was ready to take the leap, to bring this green mentor into my own space. Crossing the first threshold, welcoming my green companion. Armed with this fresh understanding, my hesitation melted away. I knew it was time to truly embark on this journey. The day I brought my first Jade Plant home, I knew I was starting something special. The vague thoughts and skepticism were gone. I'd done my research, I'd been convinced by the scientific reasoning, and now I felt an unusual excitement. I headed to a local nursery, and immediately a small, vibrant jade plant called to me. Its leaves were perfectly round, plump, and so glossy they looked waxed, truly prosperous and full of life. The feeling of holding that pot, bringing it home, was distinctly different from simply buying another decorative item. Once home, I carefully scouted for its ideal spot. No need for complex ancient Feng Shui maps. I simply chose a corner in my living room where it would receive ample natural light, not too harsh, and most importantly, where I would see it every single day. I wanted it to be a focal point, a constant, tangible reminder of my prosperity goals. As I settled the pot into its place, the entire room seemed to brighten, instantly gaining a vibrant, living accent. There was a palpable sense of lightness and hope that filled me. That was the moment I truly crossed the threshold, opening myself up to a new source of energy in my life. I had anticipated that caring for it might be a challenge, but as it turned out, the process itself became an invaluable lesson, a journey of self-discovery. Tests, allies, and enemies nurturing my green investment. Every journey has its small hurdles, and my green investment was no exception. But these weren't just challenges for the plant, they were lessons for me. Initially, I'll admit there were moments of mild panic. Am I watering it too much? Too little? Is that leaf looking a bit pale? It felt like a delicate dance trying to find the perfect balance for my new jade plant. I'd rush to Google, frantically searching for jade plant care tips at the first sign of a drooping leaf. It was a test of my patience, a reminder that growth, whether in a plant or in my financial life, doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent, mindful attention. But these little tests weren't something to fear. They became allies in disguise. Each time I learned something new about its needs, the right amount of light, the perfect watering schedule, I felt a small win. It taught me about consistency, about observing and responding, qualities I realized I also needed to apply to my budget and my financial goals. My allies in this phase were the countless online resources, the plant enthusiast communities, and most importantly, my own growing curiosity and dedication. The enemy, if you could call it that, was my own tendency to overthink or to neglect, reminding me that balance was key. And then came the small victories. I started noticing new growth, tiny, vibrant green shoots emerging from the branches, leaves becoming even plumper and glossier. It wasn't just the plant thriving. It was a visible manifestation of my consistent effort. It felt incredibly rewarding, almost like seeing a small investment begin to yield returns. Each new leaf was a little affirmation, a quiet thank you from my green companion, showing me that nurturing something, giving it the right environment, truly pays off. Watching my jade plant flourish filled my space with an undeniable energy, and soon I began to sense a more profound shift, not just in my apartment, but in my life itself. Approach to the inmost cave and the ordeal, the energy shifts, the opportunities arise. As my jade plant flourished, I started noticing something profound. My space felt different, and soon my financial world began to echo that change. It wasn't a sudden, dramatic shift, but a gradual, undeniable transformation. My apartment, once just a place to sleep and work, now felt truly alive. The air seemed crisper, the light felt brighter, and there was a palpable sense of calm and vitality that permeated every corner. My jade plant, now larger and even more magnificent, stood as a silent green sentinel, radiating this new energy. It was like the inmost cave of my personal space was being illuminated, clearing out the old, stagnant vibes. And then the real ordeal, or rather, the real opportunity began to unfold. It wasn't about finding money on the street or winning the lottery. It was far more subtle, yet incredibly powerful. My mind felt sharper, less cluttered with financial anxieties. I started approaching work projects with renewed focus and creativity. Ideas for side hustles, for optimizing my budget, for smart investments that I'd previously dismissed or overlooked, suddenly seemed clear and achievable. It was as if the positive energy from my thriving plant had somehow tuned my own frequency to better receive and act upon opportunities. For instance, I found myself confidently pitching a new idea at work that led to a significant bonus. Or I stumbled upon a resource for managing my expenses that saved me hundreds each month, almost effortlessly. These weren't miracles in the traditional sense. They were the direct result of a clearer mind, reduced stress, and a more positive, proactive outlook, all subtly nurtured by the presence of my jade plant. It was the ordeal of stepping into my own power, recognizing that true prosperity begins with a harmonious environment and a focused mindset. The plant wasn't the magic, it was the catalyst for my magic. This newfound sense of abundance, both in my space and in my finances, was truly the reward I had been seeking, and it was far more fulfilling than I could have imagined. Reward the fruits of my green investment. The shift was undeniable. It wasn't just about money, but a profound sense of well-being that truly changed my daily life. With my jade plant thriving and my mindset sharpened, the financial benefits became genuinely tangible. My bank account, once perpetually on a diet, started to feel robust. Bills became less of a dread and more of a routine. I found myself not just making ends meet, but actually building a buffer, setting aside money for things I genuinely wanted, like that weekend getaway I'd been dreaming of, or finally investing in a new hobby. It wasn't instant riches, but a steady, empowering flow of financial ease I hadn't experienced before. But here's the real reward, the true elixir. It wasn't just about the numbers. It was the peace of mind that came with it. That constant, nagging financial anxiety, it had significantly quieted down. I felt a newfound sense of control and confidence in my financial decisions. My living space, now filled with the vibrant energy of my jade plant, became a true sanctuary. It felt abundant, not just in possessions, but in positive vibes. I noticed I slept better, felt more energized in the mornings, and approached my day with a sense of quiet optimism. The jade plant became more than just a pretty decoration. It was a daily reminder of growth, resilience, and the power of nurturing. It taught me that prosperity isn't just about what's in your bank account, but about creating an environment, both physical and mental, where good things can flourish. This holistic sense of wealth, where financial well-being met emotional peace, was the true prize of this journey. And once you've experienced such a transformative shift, it's almost impossible not to share it, to become a beacon for others. The road back in resurrection, sharing the green wisdom. Once you've felt such a profound shift, holding it to yourself just isn't an option. My journey with the jade plant had transformed me, and now I felt compelled to share. With my life feeling more balanced and prosperous than ever, I naturally started talking about it. Not in a here's how to get rich quick way, but in genuine conversations with friends and family. They'd visit my apartment and immediately comment on how good it felt, how vibrant and peaceful the energy was. When they asked about my jade plant, my eyes would light up. I'd share my story not as a mystical tale, but as a practical account of how creating a positive environment, starting with something as simple as a plant, could lead to tangible improvements in one's life and finances. I found myself becoming a sort of green advocate, inspiring others to consider how their surroundings impact their well-being. It was empowering to see the spark of curiosity ignite in their eyes, just like it had in mine. This wasn't just about sharing a plant, it was about sharing a mindset, a realization that we have more control over our energetic and financial landscapes than we often believe. My journey had brought me full circle. I was no longer just the person seeking answers, but someone who could offer a simple, actionable path to others. This resurrection wasn't about coming back from a physical death, but about a rebirth of perspective, confidence, and a desire to uplift those around me. And so this green elixir from my journey became a guiding light, not just for me, but for anyone ready to cultivate their own version of prosperity. Return with the elixir and call to action. Your own green journey awaits. So what's your story going to be? Are you ready to discover the subtle yet powerful magic of a thriving space? My journey with the jade plant has been more than just about a houseplant. It's been a profound lesson in how nurturing our environment, even in simple ways, can truly cultivate prosperity in every sense of the word. This isn't just a plant. It's a living symbol, a daily reminder that positive energy, clarity of mind, and focused effort can genuinely attract abundance into your life. It's the elixir I brought back from my own hero's journey, a tangible piece of wisdom that anyone can embrace. You see, the beauty of the jade plant and the philosophy behind modern Feng Shui isn't about blind faith. It's about creating harmony, improving air quality, reducing stress, and boosting your mental clarity. All scientifically proven benefits that set the stage for you to make smarter decisions, spot more opportunities, and feel more optimistic about your financial future. It's about building a foundation of well-being from which true prosperity can grow. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever experienced the subtle power of plants in your home? Do you have your own money tree story? Share it in the comments below. Your experiences, your questions, they inspire this whole community. If this journey has sparked something within you, if you're ready to start cultivating your own vibrant space and invite more prosperity into your life, then don't wait. Consider bringing a jade plant into your home today. It's a simple step, but often the simplest steps lead to the most profound transformations. And if you enjoyed hearing my story and want more practical insights into creating a thriving, abundant life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Let's grow together, one green leaf at a time.